tiny little break from live stream, you know. Whew, I was tired. I've been tired lately. I don't know what's going on. I mean, I know I just like started this gig, you know, with these 12-hour shifts, 3 12-hour shifts, which isn't bad. It allows me 4 days off. You know, it allows me to focus on this right here. Even when I'm at work, you know, sometimes I just got to catch up on a little sleep and then bang, I'm back at it. So, anyways, y'all, peace and love, man. Sending y'all lots and lots of peace and love and light, man. We want to be in a peaceful state of mind, man, with all the stuff going on. So, yeah, I got a lesson for y'all, man. I got some good stuff up on here, bro. So, yeah, I'm very, very excited to bring this information out to people. So I just kind of learned it myself, and it was really, really eye opening. This is very, very eye opening information because everything really starts to fall into place, like on a whole other level. And I've already been on this path for a decade now. And this information here, wow, it's amazing because it just really lets you realize that not everybody's going to wake up. Some people are not capable of waking up on a spiritual level. So it's not it was kind of important that it went ahead and let me know that not everybody's going to be able to, and so to accept that, and for that to be, oh, that's okay. That's okay. And but outside of that, people like myself really want to help as many people as we can. And real quick before I get into it, I just want to explain something that just happened with that rapper, what's his name, like Tyson James or whatever his whatever that Christian rapper is or whatever. But anyways, he had a post on his community tab that was talking about just becoming better, and what things have we done to become better, basically. So I put up on there, I was helping some people because they were trying to get answers of how to get grip of their anger. And that resonated very well with me because I come from that. I used to be a pretty angry person at one point, growing up with a father in prison and whatnot. So, I definitely related to that. And so I was in there chatting it up with these people, man. And all my comments got deleted, yo. All my comments just got deleted. I'm like, bro, you're supposed to be this Christian rapper, right? But of course, that's the key word, Christian. Okay, he falls into this physics category. He falls into this second category here because, he doesn't want real truth, real growth being circulated out there, which, man, if somebody wants to come in my comments and try to help some people, as long as it's staying positive, I won't have a problem with that. So, I just had to call him out real quick a little bit, because I keep it real at all times. So, anyways, these Gnostics carry this information of the 3 types of consciousness that's out there, and this information, empires have worked very, very hard trying to bury this information because it'll allow us to obtain a higher understanding of humanity as a whole. So, this message it isn't for everyone, because the first category here, we got the Helix. So let's talk about the Helix first. Because they are really stuck in a material world. They don't ask why. They just everything. They have no interest in trying to obtain knowledge. And one thing I learned by this information is it's not their fault. This was by design. The majority of people fall in this Helix category. They're not capable. I mean, it would take miracles. It's not 100% impossible, but it would take miracles for them to want to wake up. So, that's the first category of people we got, is the Helix. And I'm sure we all know a bunch of Helix out there. I know that I know a whole lot of Helix out there. And the second category is physics. So these people, practice religion. Some of them, can be spiritual, but, and they do have, they can tap into their soul, but they still accept what they are told. So I'm one that does not accept what I'm told. You feel me? So these physics, yeah, that they have a connection with, what they're told about God, our one infinite creator, all this stuff. But so the category 2, these physics, they have the capability. They do have the capability to become the third type of consciousness out there, which is the pneumatics. Now, the pneumatics, if y'all still up in here right now, you might be a pneumatic, because otherwise, definitely not a Helix. They're probably, that was probably part of the first wave of people that came in here and left. And I mean, I'm just keeping it real. But pneumatics carry the fullest expression of the divine spark. So, yeah, man, we are animated by spirit. Our spirit is what is how we live. We're not brainwashed by this and that and whatever. We're a very rare type. So pneumatics is the more rare type of consciousness out there, and that is definitely, without even second thought at all, what I am. Definitely. After watching the whole video on this information, like, that was confirmed. That was confirmed within the first few minutes of me watching the video. Within the first few minutes, I was like, yeah, I already know what I am, man. Like, so yeah, it's but really, this is 3 types of spiritual potential. So not it's a realization, like, and I knew, but it's a second validated realization that not everyone out there has the potential to really carry this fullest expression of the divine spark. We question everything, even this stuff, question absolutely everything. So there's it's a really amazing time to be alive, because we're this is the age of information, man. It's out there. The information to transform everything, it's out there, man. And that's what really strives, like, that's what drives me, man. That's what drives me, is all this amazing knowledge out there, and being very having my own discernment about it. I'm a life path 7. So if you know anything about numerology and your life path number, look into it, man. Look into your life path number. through numerology, man. It'll most likely really show you who you are. Because for me, when I dug into it, it was a splitting image. It was like, yo, this is exactly how I've lived my life from the time I was a child. So all the way from a child to 32, I've always been on the path of seeking knowledge. That's just always been something in my blood. It used to drive my mom absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy, man. To the point where, I mean, I was told to shut up. And this is a this is a something that, you know, she still refuses to accept as the truth. But, you know, just because people don't accept the truth is not going to change the facts of the matter. So, you know, people can be in this delusional, brainwashed, you know, state of being, and right here it says that's just what it is, man. There's just some people who are incapable of, you know, unless they have, you know, some sort of an event that happens that really changes their, you know, opens their eye. So yeah, let's see. Good morning. What is the truth? Yeah, yo. So yeah, we're talking about this. This is information from the Gnostics, which is a very, very old civilization. And yeah, this all the empires since have worked very, very, very hard to cover up this information, because yeah, there's three main types of consciousness on this planet. So, you know, we got the Helix is the number one. You know, they're the majority of people is a Helix. You know, they I love that it says that, because man, it's so true. If you look around, so many people are trapped in this material world. You know, they think money is the answer. You know, they think big houses and strippers and who knows, man. Who knows, man. I ain't on that, bro. So I to me, it just doesn't even make sense to me. I'm just like, bro, y'all are just wasting your entire time here, because you know this planet Earth is a school. That's why we're here. So, you know, there's all these things people are chasing, man, but if it ain't about knowledge, it just doesn't resonate with me, because bro, we're here to learn. And as being the third type, which is the rarest type, these pneumatics, you know, because we got the Helix, the physics, and the pneumatics. And man, this information was just so confirming that, like, of just the simple fact that, you know, for the most part, these three different types of consciousness was designed to, you know, it was really kind of designed to keep the three types, you know, because if we all could come together, you know, things would actually change. So because we can't all come together because of all this division, you see, the game goes on. The game goes on and on and on and on until we figure out a way to get around all this, man, because, you know, even the physics, you know, like I said, they practice religion. They can be spiritual, you know, and they, so the Helix don't have access to their soul spirit. Like, they're barely tapped into their consciousness. They don't even, you know, most of them that I have talked to, even just mentioning the word consciousness, they're like, bro, I'm out of here. These people are like, yo, that's too much to think about, you know. So these people that are like, oh yeah, that's too much to think about. Yeah, it's because they're a helix. And but so let me make that clear, like, so they're not technically damaged, you know. A lot of us throughout the years of this awakening process, myself even included, has looked at, different people who just refuse to wake up. I was like, bro, what's wrong with them? But this information really helped, like, clear that up to the point of, like, man, like, that's just the design. There's just some people who are just always going to remain asleep. But with my purpose of being on this planet, my mission, it doesn't align with that very well. That's not something that I want to just accept. I want to help as many people as I can, period. So that's why for me, like, this video I watched last night was very, very good because, I've already pretty much known a lot of this stuff, but this really broke it down into really just the more eye-opening content, man. I was just like, bro, like, because it's frustrating. It's really frustrating being not of this world while trying to help people of this world, because the truth is, for the majority of the people of this world, there's like no helping them. I mean, you can try, and certain ones you can reach, but the majority of them, bro, it's kind of like in that movie Divergent and Insurgent, man, when they got they started man, y'all ever watch the movies, man, where because I don't want to spoil those movies because they're really, really good. So maybe I won't even talk about that, man. But have y'all ever watched the Divergent series? If y'all have, then I'll say something. But I love knowledge. I strive to learn more every day and try to learn something new. Amen, man. Yeah, and actually, I don't even like that word because that's something that you'll learn. Part of knowledge, that amen actually closes off that connection. So actually, that's just an old habit of saying that. But I've became conscious of trying not to say that, even or explaining when I do let it slip out that, like, yo, we don't want to end prayer with that word, because that actually closes the connection. So if I want to pray and have that connection remain open, just don't even say amen at the end. You feel me? So there's something else to learn too, because I mean, so after learning about this from the Gnostics, it's shifting my focus now to skip the helix, skip the mass majority of people of these helix. I gotta kind of just skip trying to target them as an audience, because all that never really ends up so well. So, yeah, but that being said, there are lots of y'all out here. If y'all clicked on this video, you're probably a physics or even a pneumatic. So, that's my targeted audience. You feel me? I got to reconstruct a little bit, man, because I've been trying to reach everyone. Like I said, not everyone. You can't reach everyone. So that's just by design of this whole system, man, because it's like people argue back and forth whether this is a simulation or not, and beside the fact whether it is or it isn't, It's still an experiment. This planet is an experiment. So that's kind of like a simulation, but I'm not going to say that it is, but I am going to say it is an experiment. So literally, they wanted to see how far and how much they could control a society. And that's what they have done here. You know, that's completely what they have done here, man, is they have controlled an entire planet almost, minus the few out there that aren't taking everything for face value. We want to know more. We want to dig into it. We want to find the actual truth, not what they tell us. So, you know, I like to try to clear that up, that, you know, like I said, I don't know if it's necessarily a simulation, but it is an experiment. So, you know, use your own discernment there. You feel me? And, oh, nice, yo. Okay. Yeah. That's what's up, man. I can't wait to read the books. I've watched all 3 movies, but I haven't read the books yet. I would love to read the books, man. I seriously love. I don't really watch movies too much, like at all. I'm very, I'm very conscious about what I digest, what I take in. You know what I mean? Everything, man. Whether it's music, movies, videos. You know, I don't even have a TV. I haven't had a TV in over a decade now. Like, I just straight, nah, TV, I don't even want the thing near me. Like, and whenever somebody has a TV on, bro, that programming that is taking place with that TV on, I can't even be around that. I can't even be around it, bro. If I walk in somebody's house, man, and they got a TV on, bro, either that thing has to go off or I got to go. I can't even be around that programming. So, you know what I'm saying? It's just, excuse me, let me take a little, swig of some, nice and hot coffee. I'm still kind of waking up a little bit, man, but I just wanted to start sharing some of this information, you know, and focus a little bit more on the physics, you know, who practice religion, you know, can be spiritual. You know, they are in tune with their soul, but they still accept, for the most part, they still accept what they're told. You know, they're still not really fully questioning everything. So, you know, it's definitely, you definitely have more spiritual potential than the first group, the Helix, you know, but so that's good. Because I mean, it was debated back in the day whether anyone could move outside of which category of consciousness they are, and with work and or experiences, you know, putting in work, putting in, you know, trying to find all these different answers and really to do some inner work, man. And let me go back to what I was talking about when I was, right before I made this live stream, when I was, chopping it up with some people in this comment section of, this rapper's, post that he made, man. And I was like, oh, cool. He's trying to, you know, he's looking for growth. He's trying to see what people have done to help grow. So I'm like, okay, cool, right on. I have all kinds of information on this, man. I come from the streets, and now I'm here. So you feel me? Like I've been through all kinds of stuff. So you know, I'm all chopping it up on there, and somebody's you know, responding to me, like trying to figure out how to work through their anger issues. And I'm like, bro, I got the answer for this because I used to be that same person. And then all of a sudden, boom, all them comments gone, bro. I try to like reload it up and everything, gone, bro. So I'm like, all right, what's going on, man? You claiming to back to that Christian thing, man, back to that religion thing, bro, that form of control, so it's sad that, some of these artists out here with, millions of views, but then when you go to try to test who they really are, the true colors come out. The true colors come out, man. They don't even want folk like myself helping other people, man. It's like, bro, your main focus should be to be of service to others. That's my main focus, is to be of service to others. You feel me? Like, that's really what my main thing is here. Let me see. Sounds a lot like the Lucifer experiment. Yeah, well, I mean, pretty much, because I pretty much believe that, we're pretty much so like, I believe that there really is no like heaven or hell, that because, reincarnation is real and there's different layers, there's different levels of consciousness. So there's no such thing as heaven or hell, bro. Like, because you're not going to spend eternity in hell if you reincarnate. And the Egyptians have proved reincarnation being real. I mean, they've studied into it so far and have had amazing results that, man, really, really opened the door for. I mean, it's a well-known fact around the knowledge community that reincarnation is real. So that alone, that alone cancels out the whole heaven and hell thing, man. Because truth is, this planet right here, we're the lowest density of consciousness that a human being can be at. Animals are a second density. Plants are a first density. We're a third. So technically, with this experiment that we're in, it's pretty much it's like hell. And yeah, sure, you could go probably to an even worse place that might be talked about as being hell, but I'm just saying, like, eternity in some type of, man, because here's the truth, man. Everything about the system has tried to produce fear. Everything, man. The whole aspect of everything to do with this planet, man. From the higher up, they try to, at the top of the pyramid is what I'm talking about. We got that 1% controlling the 4%, which are their puppets, the political system and whatnot. Those are the puppets, right? Controlled by the puppet masters, And then there's another 5% of the population like me who know all this stuff. And we're like, bro, we're not with it at all. We're trying to help wake the 90% of people. So, because it's really crazy that all these different people who are a part of the 90% of the mass population try to think, money and material things, like it was saying here, Helix, are stuck in a world. That's what they care about. I gotta have the gold on me. I gotta have the gold on me. I gotta have nice teeth up in me. I gotta have, man, all this, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's stuck in the material way of thinking, which is just not, that's more common, because one thing I have to accept about myself is that I am rare. You know what I'm saying? These pneumatics are rare. We're not by any means part of the mass population, you know. So, man, it's just it's an interesting time we're in right now. But you know, I just want to help bring everyone as much clarity as I can, and not only that, but just understanding, because there's so much information out there. Which I've been on it. I've been on disclosure information. I've been on ascension information. You know, I've been on all this different spiritual information, which is cool. You can obtain it all, but then it takes an understanding to break it down. So, you know, luckily I have a lot of understanding. So, you know, being in this third density world, man, I wish I could quit these stogies right here, man. But man, this it's too toxic out here, man. Like the air we breathe in is toxic, man. They be spraying all these chemicals in the sky and all this stuff. So like, bro, like, back to fear, right? Back to fear. Oh, you got to be afraid. No, bro, I enjoy this. You feel me? So I'm not really trying to, but you know, so many people judge people over every little thing, man, and that's not, bro, that's not it, man. Like, the only person that can truly judge ourself is ourself, and through our one infinite creator. When we gain a real true connection with our one infinite creator, we can have this mirror that we look at and start to judge ourselves. You know, and that's what's real, man. That's what's real. Just like, you know, some people have said in the past, you know, only God can judge me. Well, that's somewhat true. I mean, that's somewhat true. But it's you know, it's not, we're not waiting on a judgment day necessarily. I mean, you can, but you know, if you want to be on the path of growth, real true growth, you want to start to judge yourself through God's eyes, if that's how you want to think of it as, you know. Which, yeah, that's a whole another topic for another video about you know, our one infinite creator out there, man. Because, you know, it's just there's so much information out there, and people trying to think of God as a person. I got to tell you, God's not a person. So, you know, our one infinite creator, it exists, but not as a person. So, you know, a lot of these people think, oh, great God, come fall from the sky and take away everything. And, you know, like that Bob Marley song, you know, but if you truly know what yours is worth, you would look for yours here on earth. You feel me? Like, there is no waiting. We are our own saviors. We are the ones we have been waiting for. There is no others out there to, man, we're the ones. It's up to us to gain this awakening. You know, nobody can is going to come and you know, shoot you with a frequency gun of some sort that'll just wake you up. You know what I'm saying? That would that would tamper with people's karma. And you see, higher density beings out there are aware of the fact that they can't get too karmically involved with us. Everybody has to go through their own karma. So, you know, and that's why it's important during these times to be alone. You know, as tough as it may be at first, you know, it's important to be alone, because then that way you're not interfering with somebody else's karma. Because, you know, right now we're going through the end of the solar cycle. This solar cycle that is roughly almost 26,000 years. Every 26,000 years, the sun emits off a high frequency of energy that depending on which way humanity is headed, will determine the sole event and what happens, because a lot of in the past we have always chose the wrong path. We've always chose this technology path that we're seeing right now. We had all these people get the I don't even want to say it because it's a word that but my real ones know what I'm talking about, man. That yeah, bro, we ain't on none of that. Because to me, I mean, I really believe that there were like the second and third and whatever round of that had micro little like microchips basically up in there to try to help. So if you've kind of read the Divergent series a little bit, you kind of might know what I'm talking about a little bit, with this, because I'm not going to try to spoil it. So I'll just, but man, there's so much good information out there, but man, it's piecing it all together, man. That's where the understanding comes in, man. You gotta take all this knowledge and you gotta condense it. You gotta throw out what's not real, and construct it with what is real. So, and that's a finding, the pneumatics, like myself, the third category of consciousness, the rarest one, we possess this ability to, find the truth within. So we don't need someone to tell us the truth. We have it within. And just so happens, if we hear it and have forgotten it, it'll ring a bell so loud that you're like, oh, that makes like I knew this and forgot. So that's real, let me see what y'all say, man. Talked to you 3 weeks ago before your nature trip. Oh, that's what's up. That's what's up. How's it going, yo? Yeah, I'm out here at the ocean. So yeah, I'm still out with nature. Love it, man. Love it. Like right now, I'm not like at the beach. I was at the beach just the other day. And, I try to go back there as often as I can, but I am still at the ocean. I mean, I'm at a town that's right on the coast here. I love it. I really love this area right here. Like, I love this area that I'm at right now. Real small population. I got the ocean. Oh, it's nice. It's nice. And then now I have this gig now that I'm doing that's 3 days a week. It's 12 hours per shift, 3 days a week, but I'm just doing security. So, I can still, well, like I have already, make live streams and do whatever I want, cause for me, being part of this uncontrolled type of people, I just can't, I can't do a normal job anymore. You feel me? Like I can't do a job that's going to take my entire focus, regardless of when you're working, it's going to take your energy, but, I want to be able to still continue to do what I want to do while working. So you feel me? Like, that's what matters to me. So yeah, everything's aligned. Everything in my life is aligned the way it's supposed to be. So, sometimes it doesn't always make sense. Sometimes it's not always what you want. But when you come to the realization that like everything happens for a reason, and not only that, but you work hard towards real true spiritual growth, and with that growth comes realizations, that not everything of this world is meant for me, That's what the Helix are for. So, that's what the first group of people are for out of the three. Out of the three different types of consciousness that exist out there, that's the Helix job. They can do the fast food and all that. You know what I'm saying? And not saying with any hate, man, because this which I already have been. I don't hate on nobody, man. I try to love everyone. Rather, even if they try to give me a hard time, even if they try to, come at me with some negativity, the old me would have fired back with some negativity on some Eminem type shit that would make you feel real small. But man, I ain't trying to be like that. So you feel me? Like that's real growth, like trying to just be a better person, be tap into being the best that we can, the best version of ourselves that we can be. That's what this is focused on. So yeah, I love the ocean. Sounds amazing. Well, yeah, I am a believer in Yeshua, Yahweh. You know, yeah, I don't believe that Jesus was, his real name. I do know that regardless of the name, that's just a detail that's here to keep people divided and all this and that and whatever. But Yeshua was a fourth density being. So this solar event that we're going to go through, that's going to upgrade our consciousness to the next level from third density to fourth density, we're finally going to be like Christ, like Jesus, like Yeshua, Yahweh, whatever you want to call it. That really doesn't matter. But, because, yeah, that's why he was able to perform all these different miracles that seemed out of this world, right? Because even in the Bible, it spoke about, I come from a Christian family. So I have read the Bible. I've read the Quran. I've read a lot of the book of Enoch. And, the Law of One. Law of One is really honestly my favorite spiritual source book out there, man. The Law of One is amazing. You can type in on your web browser lawofone.info and it'll bring you right to the contact that we had with Ra. So if y'all know about Ra, check out the law. It's not the check out lawofone.info and you'll learn all kinds of amazing stuff. Ra talked about how they built the pyramids, all this different stuff about consciousness, etc. I don't remember how many sections or chapters are in that Law of One, but I haven't read the whole thing yet. I'm trying to get a computer because I really hate reading on my phone. That's not really, I don't know why, but I really just, that bugs me. Too small of a screen, maybe, I don't know. But at least for like sitting down and actually reading like a book, like, nah. So, but soon, now that I got this gig going on, man, I'm gonna buy a computer soon, like really soon, as soon as I can. As soon as I can, I'm gonna get a computer, and I want to get a tablet, so that way I have a computer, a tablet, and my phone. So that way, man, I'm gonna start bringing some real content up in here, man. Not just this little freestyle thing that I'm doing right here, but so yeah, man, stick with me, y'all. We got some much better content coming. I'm so excited about it, man. That's why that's really why I really wanted to find a little gig to make some money. So my bro, I gotta get a computer, man. Just doing all this on my phone, not having a secondary screen to kind of look through some things and whatever, show y'all some things. Yeah, it's gonna be so much better. I'm gonna be doing the live stream off of a laptop, and that'll give me a whole lot more options and, different things that I can do with it. So, I'm going to be making some slideshows. Definitely going to be making some slideshows. I'm going to definitely go, and with the laptop, I'm going to read the whole Law of One, man. I'm going to definitely make some slides on what I've learned from the Law of One. And I could already start doing that as soon as I get it, because I already have read maybe like 15 chapters or something like that of Law of One. So yeah, y'all, that's some really good stuff. Yeah, Ra. So RA. Ra was well known in the ancient Egyptian times. So they viewed Ra as a sun god. That's what their perception told them. Because, third density beings seeing folk not of this world, they're like, what's going on? This must be, But anyways, yeah, that's the story behind Ra. And Ra has given us all kinds of prophecy. And my favorite is in that book, Law of One, because it's contact between Ra and a doctor, using an instrument to connect, and the doctor's asking questions and Ra's answering them. It's a very, very amazing thing, man. It talks about, like I said, the pyramids, consciousness, all these different things. Talks about how there's the different layers of consciousness are actually densities, because there's a difference between densities and dimensions. So, yeah, Law of One clears up stuff like that. And so, yeah, I can't wait. I just can't wait to be able to make better content, is what I'm saying. Like, it's been an amazing journey with just a phone, though. So, I'm extremely grateful for all of y'all, man, sending y'all much peace and love, much peace and love. I'm still drinking some coffee, trying to wake up a little bit. I need a little boost real quick of some because I haven't taken any medicine yet today. The boy needs a little tiny bit of medicine to hit that level that I need to be on right now. So I gotta have just a little bit of some Northern Lights. You feel me? I got to. That's just my head kind of hurts a little bit this morning. Because normally I don't take my medicine until about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So this is definitely a little early for me, but it happens sometimes. Like, I only need one, though. I'm only going to do one because that's all I need. And I'm on this path and this growth that, bro, I don't need any more than one. Man, Northern Lights is good. I haven't had Northern Lights in a long time. I felt it instantly, all up in here, just relieving my little headache that I had going on there for a minute. Just trying to sit here and talk about all this stuff when my head was like throbbing a bit. I'm like, man, a little bit of medicine, a little bit of coffee, and man, what time is it? I'm thinking about going to the ocean. Yeah, because I got to charge my phone anyways. My phone's down to 6% right now, so Man, I'm gonna go to the ocean and do a nice live stream down there, y'all. That's what I'm gonna do. See, I'm the opposite, man. People get lazy. Man, bro, I don't get lazy when I take my medicine, man. My medicine makes me like, oh, hey, let's go to the ocean. Let's go make some live streams. Let's go do this. Let's go do that, man. Fuck. You know what I mean? Bro, that's how I did 5 years of felony probation, man. I did 5 years of felony probation. I ain't no square, you feel me? I come from a life. And by the end of this probation, I went to jail so many times for puffing on my green that finally I was like, bro, how can I get them to understand me? How can I get them to understand that I'm not like everybody else? Then it dawned on me, I'm going to get a second job. All right? Because I'm thinking about it and I'm like, my PO's telling me, oh, but it affects people's ability for this and that and this and blah, 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 blah. I'm like, bro, all right. So that's what sparked me into thinking, man, I'm gonna get 2 jobs. What are they gonna say if I'm working 2 jobs? Are they gonna arrest me for smoking weed then? Nah, man, they didn't. They didn't. In fact, so I did snow removal. This is in Montana. This is in Billings, Montana, where I'm from. I'm not there anymore. I got away the second my sentence expired, but actually a little bit before on the DL. Yeah. Anyways, so I was doing snow removal at night. I was working at a tire shop during the day. We had this really bad snowstorm come in, and I had to do snow removal all the way up until I had to go to my tire job. I literally didn't get any sleep. None. I had just done snow removal all night. And yet I'm headed in to go work at a tire shop. And I'm very, 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 very good at tires. Like, very good at tires. Like, I can do it with my eyes closed. Type of good. Like, so, because, I have like 6 years of experience doing tires. So, anyways, I go up in there to do tires. And she's like, are you stoned? I'm like, bro, what the fuck are you talking about, man? I'm like, bro, I just got done working all night long. I haven't even been to bed. But I got this. I got this, man. This is easy to me. Doing car tires is easy to me. I've done thousands of car tires. Like, bro, this is easy to me. So, man, she literally fired me on the spot, man. Was like, all right, yeah, I can't have you smoking, I'm like, bro, I didn't even smoke here. I just showed up because I just got done with my other job removing snow. So I get done doing snow, I come here, and now you fire me. Okay, whatever, dude. She tries calling up my PO, because this was a woman that was running the show. And she tries calling up my PO, which is also a woman, and they're speaking. And she's like, yeah, he showed up to work. He said that, he just got done working his other job and he worked all night. And then he came here and did this and he was stoned and da-da-da-da. And man, my PO was like, hold on. He has a second job? I didn't even tell her. My PO was like, hold on. What? So instantly dismisses everything this lady's saying. For the first time, sides with me. For the first time, I don't get in trouble for smoking weed no more. For the first time, she's like, well, obviously, I was wrong, and it does not affect your motivation at all. At all. So, you know what I'm saying? It's like, back to the 3 types of beings. You feel me? I mean, that's just what it is. We're not all the same. We come from the same creator, but we were designed differently. You feel me? So that's what it is. And if you think about it, right, So if you think about this Gnostic teaching, and if you really think about it, these three types of consciousness, these three different types of spiritual what's the word, spiritual potential. My mind slipped. Potential, man. Potential. That's what potential you have to tune into these different levels of spirituality, man. It's but anyways, it makes sense that certain people are able to function differently with different things. And not only that, I have actually come to find out that there is, yeah, you know, but no, it was all cool, man, because my PO finally sided with me, man. My PO was finally, that's what it took to open her eye. That's what it took to open her consciousness a bit. Because here's what my PO told me, is that she would rather be busting, she'd rather be out target practicing with people who had been drinking. She's like, yeah, I would rather have my partners who had been drinking versus stoned. And I'm like, what? That's what made me end up doing what I did, because I'm like, bro, I gotta open this chick's mind up. And even right then and there, I'm sitting talking to my felony probation officer, and I this is how real I am. I'm like, bro, what do you mean you'd rather be shooting with people who have been drinking alcohol versus somebody that smoked a little weed? I'm like, I literally said this to my PO, and I'm like, check it out. We'll go to the shooting range right now, and I'll prove your little theory wrong right now. She's like, what? Are you serious? And I'm like, yeah, we can go right now. This is in Montana. You feel me? So, anyways, that's when I went and got the second job, because I'm like, man, I'm gonna teach her something. She needs to be taught something. She's thinking poorly about something. She's miseducated. Not everybody's the same. So, yeah, man, that was just in the calling to share that experience, man. Because, you know, I've been what year was that I got off of paper, man? It was like 2020. I don't know. So the information that brings me into a further discussion, man. What y'all know about CERN? What you know about that insider that worked for CERN? That lady who, man, did y'all watch that video where she was talking about? Oh, very wild stuff, man. Very wild stuff. I'm just curious if y'all know. I ain't really gonna go into that in this video here. You know, I should probably attempt to limit myself some sort of way, because yeah, you know, it's amazing. I love having this connection, and I want to keep it. I don't want them to shut my ass down, because once they realize that their shadow banning techniques just isn't going to keep the truth from coming out, I don't want them to resort to the next step. So literally my last live stream, which was a very good one, man, as soon as it's over, they shut the traffic off. It does not get seen after that. So, you know, it is what it is, man. But ultimately, one thing that, because my head's kind of been hurting a little this morning and stuff, but, you know, like I always say, you know, I owe this to our one infinite creator, man. I, I'm in this for you. I'm in this for humanity. Like being of service to others, man. That's why I'm here. Like, it's not for me. It's not for any sort of personal gain other than helping y'all. Just because I have my life path number being a 7, the fact that I've been a knowledge seeker since I was a little kid, and not only that, when you're a pneumatic, the third type of consciousness, do you, I need to be doing this. This is my mission. This is my purpose, because yeah, we're in tune with all the real out there. If it's not real, it doesn't resonate. It won't resonate with me. I won't be able to accept that as the truth if it's not the truth, because that's how I'm designed. So, I've always been one to keep it real, like always. That's always been very ingrained into me, to just always keep it real no matter what, even if that means losing family, even if that means losing friends, even if that means losing my girlfriend. I mean, it's just me and my dog. Dogs are forgiving. Dogs love you. Dogs are amazing, man. Dogs, they don't judge you at the end of the day. They're right here, right by your side. You feel me? So that's another teaching, man. We all got to learn. And dogs teach us how to love, like for real. And not only that, like, and forgive. They're just a dog. And it really helps understand these different types of people. Because there's a little bit kind of different types of dogs too. Not every dog is the same. If you know how reincarnation works, sometimes you can go from like a third density like this down to a dog, and vice versa. So, certain dogs have, they were like us, and then when they died, their karma, because it's all based on your karma. People want to downplay karma and act like it doesn't exist, and I mean that's okay, I guess, until it slaps them up. Some people are just really good at avoiding karma somehow, even though they're producing bad karma, they're good at avoiding it, but it'll catch up. So, I just pray to lead people in a better direction, man. You know what I mean? Because right now, I got a good slate of karma, and I'm keeping it good, man. I don't, Plus, I mean, even when I was in the streets, I wasn't like these folk nowadays that don't care about nobody, man. I was in the streets back on some like Robin Hood type of stuff, man. We're like, bro, I'm making sure my people is straight. And we only going after the rich, not the, like, that's the difference, like, between a lot of the OGs and these YNs and stuff nowadays, man. They don't understand nothing about community, man. Nothing about community. It's everyone for themselves, and even if they got a click, they'll pop them. It's so screwed up, man. It's so screwed up. So and unfortunately, I mean, that's the design that we're going through right now. Is so many people in the streets stealing stuff, robbing, all this stuff, man. And yeah, yeah, she was a drunk, yeah, for sure. Yeah, and that's why she said that. You know what I mean? And for some reason, so many drunks think that they're better than man. My dad was a bad drunk, man. I didn't meet my dad until I was 20 years old, and everything happens for a reason. When you're growing up, you don't understand the reason. You grow up like, man, we're like pissed off, but man, luckily I was able to meet him when I was 20 years old. And by 25, I had to, and only being off and on type of a relationship, but by 25, I had to, man, that's what ended up. It was right around there. Yeah, because let's see, it was about 2017. Yeah, in 2017 is when I reached. That's the year that I realized that I didn't want to be a drunk. Like that's the year I seen how ugly it can really be, and